Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Nanyang Championships. We are in the thick of it now in the Chinese qualifier. Just getting underway on day number 1 of the bracket. So earlier today, we saw IG easily take care of business versus FTD for the Dream Club B. And now we're going to see if Newbee can do the same here to the CDEC Youth. Might not be so easy of a matchup, though. With that said, we hop into the draft now. Of course, I'm not alone here. I am joined by my good friend Winter. I think.
I didn't watch the last game, dude.
It was a rather one-sided series, so you didn't miss a whole lot.
Are they not playing with a full team?
I'm not sure. For Newbee, you mean?
Yeah, isn't like Cheesebug their support?
I don't know. Maybe he's on a Smurf or isn't using his real nick. I'm not really sure.
But I see Banana and Sangsheng. I thought Sangsheng is actually supposed to be the sub.
Let me double check. Honestly, this is my first day casting Chinese Dota since the break. So yeah, it looks like Cheesebug's supposed to be their 5. Sangsheng's a sub, so they're using at least one sub. And then, okay, they have Xiaotulei. MK is also a sub, so they're using 2 subs. And then I'm not sure who this 4th guy is. Is that Hao? Or Mu? Or is that another sub?
Should be Mu though.
Okay, so they're not. It looks like they're missing Hao, and then they're using 2 subs. So this is not exactly their full roster, but we'll see what they can do. On the other side, you've got the CDEC Youth. I feel like this name is a total misnomer, Winter, because you've got 4 very established players here from China, or at least 3 who are quite established. June, Icy, and Flame. I know I've seen Demons around for a long time on some of the Tier 2 Chinese teams, so I don't know if youth is really the appropriate term here. They're neither particularly young, nor are they, like, unknowns. But there you go, the CDEC Youth.
Not so youthful.
Yeah, but youthful at heart, perhaps. Let's put it that way. So, okay, draft. I mean, not a whole lot to talk about here. Very standard stuff. Lena being ignored, the one thing, but there you go. She gets banned out now. Are you ready for 6.85? I feel like I've asked you this before, but
yeah.
It's been another week or two and same picks, you know?
The draft has come to a stalemate, I guess. Everything has been figured out, like all the best playstyles and whatnot. That's why we rarely get to see anything new or different. Maybe Slada offlaner. I think I've seen it in quite a few pop games recently. It's starting to get popular. Seems quite useful in certain lineup.
Yeah, I saw Slardar earlier. It was a total disaster, but I wouldn't say it was the Slardar's fault.
Was it?
It was the laning. The laning was just bad, so it wasn't really
Was it off lane or safe lane?
It was aggressive tri-lane Slardar, which is definitely not the way to play him, I think. And their tri-lane wasn't very good either. They had an Undying and a Rubik, maybe? It was not good. It was not good at all. They got brood mothered as well. There was a 4th pick brood, and they laned a bounty hunter versus a brood, 1v1. So you can imagine how that matchup went for the bounty hunter.
Not the worst matchup.
Yeah, I mean maybe you don't die, but you're not winning the lane. And he had sentries to start the brood as well, so you couldn't even really harass.
I think the Slada offlane thingy might work actually if you have Windrunner on your maybe a mid Windrunner. The Slada offlane could be very good in those sort of lineups. I think.
It seems like Slada. As long as you have any ranged core mid, like a Shadow Fiend, Wind Ranger type hero, then I think the Slardar, he can kind of fit that melee initiator role. He needs a little more farm than most is the only issue.
I think it's a very similar strat to what the teams have been running, the Shadow Fiend plus Slada, but Slada on safe lane sometimes becomes a bit weak when the game goes too late because you don't farm too much, so you can fulfill the same purpose by offlaning the Slada.
That's why you get the Havost Midas Slardar.
Dragonite, this hero has been very, very rarely picked.
It's just tough, you know. Generally, when you have the Dragonite pick, it's like you're up against some Lash Storm, Quap, Lina.
But what's the idea behind? what's the idea behind
Shadow
the Dragon Knight this
Fiend.
game?
Like, he loses to all those heroes, right? So
Yeah, I'm just wondering what's the idea behind the Dragon Knight this game. They want an instant stun, or they want to... It's mostly you want to push with the Dragon Knight.
yeah, it seems more like a pushing Dragon Knight because there's no storm in this game. There's no like hero where you desperately need the lockdown yet. So I would agree with you. I think it's mostly for the push. But the rest of the lineup doesn't push that well, so it's kind of strange.
And they they pretty much get screwed by this
they're getting punished now for this Dragon Knight pick. There's the Viper punish.
Yeah, the Viper is a very good selection here from Newbee. It's gonna make it very difficult for CDEC to lane their heroes. I think they initially probably wanted to do Dragon Knight mid and maybe safe lane or off lane, Queen of Pain, but right now all their dreams have been squashed by this Viper.
Reserve time.
But Newbee has to play Viper, so they have to at least feel bad about themselves. I'm being told by someone on Twitter that this may not be Moo. Unless he's played on someone else's account, it's not Moo, is what Abel was
So they
telling
have
me.
3 subs.
So then they have 3 subs. So we'll see.
Okay.
I feel like Newbee is not taking the Nanyang Championships very seriously. This is the playoffs, you know. This is the bracket. This is where you got to bring the heat.
Is there a second life?
Yeah, it's double limb, so they do have a second life, but
remaining.
you know, Invictus Gaming's in the bracket, eHome's in the bracket.
5
This is not going to be a walk in the park, Winter. Even Tongfu's in there too.
Reserve time.
Good news is a lot of the top Chinese teams were directly invited. So you've got CDEC, LGD, and Vici Gaming, all of them already into the main event. So it's not as tough as other qualifiers, but yeah, I don't know. Newbee, this reminds me a little bit of TI4, where after TI4 they weren't exactly focused. You know, they didn't really bring their A game. They actually won a lot, you know, but they were doing they were doing like their promo tour. You remember they had like some handheld game that they were like doing
RPG
advertisements
games.
and stuff for.
Yeah.
Some
And they were
mobile
doing
game.
advertisement
10
for
seconds
Cherry, a local car brand as well.
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember that
5
now.
seconds remaining.
But this Newbee does not have a TI under their belt last year, so hopefully they'll
Reserve
be serious moving forward.
We haven't really talked much about what they want to pick. So I guess we are not serious.
Oh, that's an interesting pick. This is actually, it's not a terrible Slark game. There's not that much AoE. There's not really a strong instant silence. So what do you
Very
got
good
here? You got the Viper Strike, which you cannot Dark Pact, and they have the Gyro AoE. Seems like a decent Slark game.
I think it's very good to kill
10
Rubik
seconds
in
remaining.
general. Rubik is very weak against Slug. Gyro as well.
5 seconds.
You mostly are forced to pop your BKB in a lot of situations when the Slug pounces on you.
When he lifts the Slark, does Dark Pact remove that or no?
Yeah, it does. If you
Okay.
cast your Dark Pact before he...
Yeah, then he's
That's
really
the-
good versus Rubik.
The magical lift on you.
Okay. What do Newbee want to... What do you think Newbee go for here, Winter? They've got their potential offlaner in the Spirit Breaker.
I like Disruptor here. I don't know about them.
Silencer.
Oh, this is also okay.
Well,
This is
there's your
very-
strong, reliable silence versus a Slark.
This is actually support heroes that Newbie are very famous for. They always pick Disruptor support, AA support, Silencer support that doesn't have much variable lockdown in the lane but very good in team fight.
Let's see if it's going to pay off here. The Viper mid. Oh, Sunshine on the Viper. I guess with all these stand-ins slash, well, not even stand-ins, sub slash backups playing, that, you know, the roles get mixed up a little bit.
I know the original roles is Xiao Tule is actually the off lane, so he's in his position.
Yeah.
I guess that means probably Mu and Hao are both the ones not playing.
Prepare
Yeah, I
for
think
battle.
Moo's still mid. House safe lane, one position. So I guess the main thing that's unusual here is Sangsheng, mostly known, well, pretty much exclusively known for playing support over the past few years.
You got promoted, my friend.
Yes, or demoted, depending on your point of view.
What? No.
Some would say that support is the pinnacle of Dota. It's the glamorous job.
That's definitely not you. I don't see you playing support.
Oh, come on. I'll support you when you come. All right. Newbee versus CDEC Youth. Newbee with a lot of subs and slash stand-ins here. Not sure 100% who the gyrocopter is, to be honest. Sangsheng on the Viper. We've got MK playing the Rubik. What'd you say? You said
30
Chalet?
seconds to battle.
Xiao Tule.
Xiao Tule, okay. Or Tule on the Spirit Breaker. We'll have Banana playing the Silencer. And then over on the CDEC Youth side, some rather old youth. Inflame on the Dragonite. Icy, your Earthshaker. Demons on the Wyvern. June, the Queen of Pain. And that does leave... Is it AIM? Ame?
Your guess is as good as
Battle
my guess.
begins.
Alright, I'm gonna say AIM on the Slark.
Because his old name in Energy Pacemakers was actually Xiao Tule, and he removed the Xiao because his name now is very long, but I still call him the old name.
So interestingly, this gyrocopter starts with the boots first. Winter, it looks like it's an offlane gyro. So they're mixing up the matchups here quite a bit, I think, from what you would normally expect.
Maybe they wanted to lane gyro versus the slot, and CDEC actually anticipated that. That's why they swapped their lanes as well.
Yeah, that's a tough matchup for Slark early on, or really any melee carry. But not going to be the case here, as Inflame already has his bottle. He went for the one branch bottle rush, so off to a hot start.
I remember you used to call that the eco build.
Yeah, the economy build. I guess he just wants to spam his breathe fire. Already 6 CS for Inflame versus a Viper. That is a wonderful start.
Yeah, they are not gonna get the D-ward on top as well. Sentry just marginally missing the ward.
Oh, nice fissure block from ICMK in all kinds of trouble. Gets the lift back, but not going anywhere. Easy first blood for the youth.
He thought he was safe, there was no wards, but his Sentry actually missed the ward.
Oh, he just missed it. That hurts. That's when you go back, you watch the replay, you're just like, oh my god, I hate my life right now. Tough times.
Yeah, that's why when you don't get the D-ward, you can't be certainly 100% sure that there's no vision.
Yeah, like we talked about last week, I think it was.
Yeah. Life as a support is tough nowadays because of the Sentry range.
And also the fact that you can just tango them right away in those mid matchups where you just see the ward wars constantly happening. Make things a little bit trickier. We'll see AIM jumping onto Xiao Tule. Gives him the poke. Up to 6 Essence shift, so plus 18 agility. Easy last hitting for him in that lane. And, well, our mid lane is even so far. Inflame just looking to bottle Crow. Has a haste rune already bottled up. He could honestly pop this haste and go do terrible things to that courier if he wants, but may end up dying to the tower.
Yeah, he's doing actually very well, like you mentioned, in terms of CS. Usually you see Dragon Knights start to fall behind when the Viper gets more levels. The first few waves are still fine for the Dragon Knight. I think level 4, level 5, it starts to get really difficult. And you have a lot of...
You know what? I just noticed CDEC Youth have a 1-0 advantage. I guess they got a forfeit win for game 1 because Newbee was late.
Ah, they did?
Okay. Well, this could be a very quick best of 3 Winter. Shot too late. We'll get caught top lane. Rubik gonna lift Demons, tosses him back towards the tower. Cute little play. Has not gone for Cold Embrace yet.
Maybe that's why they had so many subs, yeah?
I think it's probably why, yeah, because they're like, well, we'd better at least get somebody in here so that we don't just auto-lose the series, but... The thing is, the loser bracket match happens right after this. And it's a BO1. So if they lose this, it doesn't matter that they whether they use a stand-in now. They're going to have to use one again, potentially. As I look bottom lane, Gyrocopter running in, tanks the entire creep wave. Doesn't have that early Ring of Akil you often see, so... Doesn't have the extra armor. They end up getting a double kill. CDEC Youth just cruising early on. 3-0 your score. Off to an excellent start.
Yeah, that's why we don't really see Gyro offlane so much. It's quite risky. He doesn't have any way of escaping when he gets caught like that.
And he went for a pretty aggressive build here. Phase boots first. No Rain of Basilius. No early Wraith ban. No Bracer. Just straight into the phase boots. And a little bit squishier when he gets caught out.
He just wants to have more damage to CS against the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, I don't think he's expecting that rotation either. Probably thought
Earthshaker
that...
moving around has been doing a lot of work. Got a kill.
Oh, nice pounce from AIM top lane, though. He's going to take some last word damage here as the Banana Silencer rotates and pops him. And they get more. A 1-for-1 exchange. The Spirit Breaker also going down. Demons backing out. And Icy gallops forward, but nobody really that low. They'll just start poking Banana a little bit with the club. Has the fissure available. Not going to find the opening just yet. But a lot of early movement here from the supports, and Icy in particular getting very active. They want to make a go. Oh, MK. Very close to getting caught, but no mana for Splinter Blaster. I think they go for that one. And Banana?
They can still trap the silencer here.
Oh no. The legendary Shaker gets the block. It's a perfect one. Icy. Second fissure block in a row that's led to a kill. Along with that excellent rotation bottom lane. This guy has been involved in 4 of their 5 kills already.
And the Spirit Breaker is charging back into the lane, but he's not going to be able to get this kill. Just wants to get back to the lane as fast as possible. But yeah, like you mentioned, the Earthshaker has been providing great success for his team. Every rotation he made was successful so far.
And look at the CS now. We're seeing overall pretty even spread there. So it really does come down to these kills where, well, Golden Experience both going CDEC.Y as a result. You've got the top 2 cores and Newbee doing slightly better, but then the middle grouping a little bit more solid here for CDEC.Y. So the end result, pretty much a wash there. We're going to find the gyrocopter. And oh, double damage rune, but it's not even going to matter. June already level 6, finds the kill and TPs himself to safety. Again, punishing the offlane gyro. Well, that's getting the double damage rune. Imagine if he missed it.
Yeah, imagine if their lanes were actually gyro, safe lane. I think they would have been able to accomplish pretty much the same thing. Apart from maybe the Queen getting more CS if you put the Spirit Breaker down there.
But Flame missing his fire breath. Now Icy runs in the river. Quap's going to rotate, and June is here again to save the day. And now in Flame, thinking about a re-engage. He may take low to this Curse of the Silent. It's only level 1, though, so he'll be able to get out. And we'll give the lane to June while he looks to heal, most likely. CDEC just better rotations, Winter. Now a 7-to-1 lead. They're going to start, continue, stacking Ancients. And they just seem, it seems like they're playing like a very organized squad here. I haven't actually seen them play before this, but they look like they have a clear, game plan, leadership structure. All the fundamentals are looking good so far.
Yeah, I think their laning phase just went much better. If you compare both their lineup, I think you kind of don't expect CDEC to have such a good time in the laning phase. They were supposed to have a weaker laning phase. But as a result of how they actually put their lanes, they're actually gaining the upper hand. And I think their lineup getting an upper hand would allow them to actually push much faster. Because if you look at what Newbee have, they need levels on their supports before they can actually fight. Silencer in particular doesn't provide too much for his team before he reaches level 6.
Yeah, you see Banana like TPing top and trying to counter gank, and you compare that to what the Earthshaker of Icy is able to do. It's just not something Silencer is really built for. So he's going to try to get his level 6 here bottom. This Banana
the Shaker
rotation.
is just happy to be same level as the Silencer, honestly.
He's got Arcane Boots already, man. 2-0 and 3. 8 minutes in. And the smoke picked up as well. Icy. Where will he look to punish Newbee next? Will be the top lane.
I think he's gonna wait for the Queen's ulti to come back off cooldown. That is the biggest killing potential that they have.
They actually do have it now, but he will show himself here top.
Bottom lane.
Oops. I thought you meant the rune, but they do get the M Slark, who just cracked level 6. Did he not have mana, or he was silenced?
He got comboed by the charge and Nether Strike.
Ah, okay.
Here comes the Death Knight.
Rotation now. Demons has a Splinter Blast, but needs something to bounce it off of here. It looks like the Spirit Breaker was out of range. Can't really engage any further. Just a little chip shot thrown out. And they're going to bring the cow back. He has smoke top lane. The Earthshaker. Looks like he wants to try to catch out MK, but MK nowhere to be found, so... Dragon Knight getting also pretty rotation happy, and AIM's going to go to his third lane. Top lane, he got tired of it. Dies there, goes bottom, dies there, now he's on to mid. The one guy who's not having the easiest time, but still 38 CS, so still doing okay here on the Slark.
Dire's top tower is under
The slug
attack.
is actually also quite poor.
Yeah, he's been to all 3 lanes now. If your Slark's changing lanes that much at this stage, probably not having the easiest time.
I think Slug actually needs, even though he can catch up very quickly, he needs more farm than Gyro. I think as the game state it is now, Gyro should be able to still provide more for his team. He just needs to get his spells off, and he's still going to be providing so much damage for his team.
It's why we see so many Slarks, even now, still go for the Midas, just because he just needs the items to come online.
Really depends on, yeah, I think Midas is always good on Slug because it's not only the gold that you need, it's the levels. You want to get your levels as fast as you can.
Well, speaking of levels, June could give a huge bounty of experience, and we'll end up getting caught out here. MK even managing to stag the Scream of Pain. Level 4 on the high ground, so a nice takedown there. Helps to equalize this game a bit. In fact, quite a bit, once the graph fully reflects it. We're seeing a Dragon Knight Slark pressure on the bottom lane now. They both rotate in. Looks like drums being worked on here by Inflame. Barrier going to be dangerously far out under the towers. Xiao Tulei waits in position up on the high ground mid. Seems they may press in for a bit of a push here soon. But nobody really going for big objectives, Winter. We haven't seen too much pressure on towers. All the towers fairly healthy. There's some kills being exchanged, but mostly it's been farming and ganks from both teams.
Kind of unusual to say that when there's a Viper and a Dragon Knight on either side of the teams.
Oh, Winter's Curse is ready. MK caught out. And will go down here. Screams at the creeps and rage, but won't save him. And now they dive in deeper. They want Banana here as well. The Rocket Barrage is punishing Inflame, but also the Queen of Pain doing heavy damage. They will finish off the Gyro, barely clipping a Dragon Knight on the boundary of the cooldown. Demons in deep. Goes for the TP out. 17%. 100% of the time. Gets the bash. Gets the kill. What a hero. A Space Cow.
At the end of the day, I still think it's okay for CDEC. They made the whole team of Newbee rotate over, and it was 2 for 3, I want to say. They lost Dragon Knight and Wyvern for Rubik, Gyro, and did someone else die? Okay, maybe not.
Silencer.
Right? Yeah, 2 for 3. I remember there was 3 heroes going down.
Speaking of Silencer, brings the Slark very low here top lane, together with the Spirit Breaker, and will be forced to pop the ult defensively. Looks like with the way the game's going, he just wants to tank up a bit. AM getting his treads, now building towards the magic wand. Getting those basics you need to not instantly die when Global is popped. And speaking of Global, Winter, it's online now.
I wonder if he's going to go BKB first, or he goes Manta on the slot.
Feels like he definitely has to get a survivability item with the potential for that Global and the charge.
Yeah, because it's very, you know, players right now, nowadays, they don't really like to get BKB. It's kind of bad if you get it too early.
You can get Sanjin Yasha, it's not terrible, but then you don't have a way to debuff the silence. Speaking of the silence, does get popped here. The cooldown comes out, only really connecting on Inflame, who is trapped out by the fissure. Put under, keeping him alive. Demons will with the Wyvern. And now dropping the ultimate on Banana. Sangcheng forced to turn against his own silencer. Inflame may go down here, but he's done a lot of tanking for the squad. Earthshaker also will drop as Xiao Tulei finds the pick. AIM rotating in is forced to pop the ult to try and run away, giving Xiao Tulei a little poke. He's rather tanky. They give the Nether Strike. He finds it up the hill. He's got the hill ward to keep him going, but he's in really deep. Perhaps too far. June with the double damage run and the Wyvern at his side gonna turn this. May even going deeper for Sangcheng. The ultimate's available. Low on mana, unfortunately. Splinter Blast connects. Scream just pushing out the wave. Gonna pressure the tower. Now when the dust settles, a 2 for 4. That Dragon Knight just takes way too long to kill.
They didn't need to lose the Spirit Breaker though. He went too far deep, I guess. I don't think they could have killed any one of the 3 heroes there. So
yeah, I think it's one of those oh, I vision, I want to jump, you know, I didn't use my ult yet, but sometimes you just don't do the math.
If he didn't die, it was actually 2 for 2, so it would have been fine. Now they have the mech on the Viper, which is the biggest deal for their lineup. They're going to be able to try and at least siege this tier 1, having the mech advantage on their side of Newbee.
Fissure clips too, just trying to keep them off the tower here.
Dire's top tower has
There's a
fallen.
ward now, and AIM probably knowing it as he gets hit by that last ward up the hill. Silencer just dropped a ward. Just getting eyes on this big Ancient stack, something the Dragon Knight would love to farm. He just now finds his level 2 ultimate, so has the AoE to try and clear this one, but the pressure is coming. Like you said, Winter, onto the middle lane they go. Tower goes down, the Viper gets the last hit. And now Newbee. Let's see, what's the next destination, do you think? Do they push more towers? Do they go for a gank?
I think probably they try to farm maybe BKB on Gyro. But if you go alone right now, if you think about the possibilities of killing you, they don't have any Blink or Shadow Blade on the Slug. But Slug is going to be closing on a big item soon. Okay, he spends all his goals on a drum, so he just wants to be able to fight as soon as possible for his team. I was actually feeling that he might actually consider the Shadow Blade.
Dire's middle
Then it will
tower
actually
is
allow
under
him to,
attack.
if the Silencer is alone, because usually the way you play Silencer is you try to farm your items and just help your team by having a global. So if
It's
you have
kind of
Shadow
like
Blade,
Ancient Apparition in terms of the playstyle.
if you have Shadow Blade or Blink on the Slug, you can always constantly hunt down a support like Silencer or Ancient Apparition.
Yeah, it seems all of CDEC really focusing on the team fight is drums up for the Slark, the Dragon Knight building towards a BKB. You've got June picking up an ultimate orb, or sorry, not ultimate, a point booster, so going towards the Aghanim Scepter. They just want to
Everyone-
beef up and be able to take these team fights.
Everyone is just gearing up into fighting early. No one wants to farm or get the game going too long.
Well, we say that, but there's a lot of Ancients stacking in. Both teams now with a triple or quad stack at their Ancients. Looks like a triple for the Radiant, a quad for the Dire.
The smokes are actually probably going to collide.
Oh, who's going to get the initiation here? It's daytime, and they're wrapping around from the south. This could turn out beautifully for Newbee. Global is available. Tower glyphed. They're coming. Gyro on the backside. Charge comes through. Where's that global silence? It's a little bit too late. Quap gets the blink out, but then they focus around with the Nether Strike. They'll find the quick pick. And on the backside, Inflame diving for Sunshine. Immediate buyback for the Queen of Pain. Wants to get back into this fight where the cooldown was forced out. It only hits demons once, and now the Quap ult. That's a 3 combination there to bring down 2, and it looks like Bananas should be next on the list. The global, less than effective. A 3-for-1 exchange, and looking for that 4th. As MK tries to jump away, but Rubik has stolen the blink. So he'll be able to make it out. Sunshine may not be so lucky, though. They commit onto him. Mex was already used up, but CDEC will be content with their tower bottom lane. Looks like the last hit went to the Dragon Knight, as well as their 3-for-1 trade. Even with the buyback, the gold continues to go their way.
And that was a really good buyback from the club. Because when a team that relies on their cooldown so much, Silencer is a big cooldown, and I think they dropped 2 big ultimates on him, the Nether Strike and the Silence. And maybe the cooldown, I can't remember if they actually dropped the cooldown for that, but they used 2 or 3 big spells on him, and a cooldown, a buyback to come back into the fight that early is actually very good. A very good decision from the Queen.
CDEC are in good shape now. They've got the tower advantage, or not advantage. Actually, yeah, they do. They've got the 2-for-1 tower advantage. Looks like they're getting their core items soon. The BKB well underway for Inflame. The Slark actually is caught up. Leader in terms of CS here, almost even with his own Dragon Knight. Up to 1,800 gold, so it could go towards that next big item. There's a charge onto Inflame, and they find a haster in here, pushing him back into the cooldown. Nice combo. And a much-needed kill. As they look to get back on the board. AIM gets aggressive, charging in. Fissure's there. They don't want to commit any further. Queen of Pain ult on cooldown. With that, this may be a little bit tricky, but the Spirit Breaker sees opportunity. Winter's Curse still on cooldown for a few seconds. The Glimmer Cape will keep him in fighting shape for now. How does he already have that? That's a very fast Glimmer Cape. The rest of the squad will retreat, but they sacrifice the Rubik as well as the Spirit Breaker on the way out. CDEC. I mean, it honestly feels like Newbee, there's been a couple times now, Winter, where they could just get a kill and get out, but they chase, they stick around, and they get punished.
And both the times involve their Spirit Breaker as well. He seems like he's a bit very eager to... I guess he knows though, because their lineup is not meant to go too late.
Oh, there's a global silence. AIM is going to pop his ultimate just in the nick of time and looks to run away here. Does the Dire Squad have vision up the hill? No, they don't. So he dark packs, he pounces, he immediately TPs out, and there's no way to cancel this. AIM getting away with a pretty aggressive maneuver there as June's charged mid. Looks like the Ag's well under construction now. Has the second component, another 700 gold. It's only about 1,300 until I have the beefy 40-second cooldown Queen of Pain Alden.
Dire's middle tower has
Apparently, just to clarify, I was incorrect. There is a bug in Reborn with the scoreboard right now. So it's actually, it is 0-0, not 1-0. This is something wrong with the Reborn lobbies, according to our admin. So even if CDEC win this one, they'll still have to take one more to take the series.
So we have more Dota to come.
More Dota. Indeed, Inflame. Good job canceling the charge there. Glimmer Cave again making the difference. And from the rear comes June. Now the Echo Slam. Icy just walks right in and blows them up. And now June on the hunt. This may be a game 2 headed our way soon. MK Dark Bacti, but that's only going to get him killed off quicker. A Dragon Tail, another takedown. Anytime that global's wasted, and oh no, Winter. Oh no, Demons is going to tank the neutrals. They've got the Dragon Knight level 2 ultimate going. And they're going to quickly farm up at least these small Ancients, taking away a whole lot of gold. This is about to be like a 4k gold swing, I want to say, including the kills.
Yeah, totally forgot about when you have Dragon Knight, it actually allows you to do stuff like that. Because we don't see the hero too much. When
Yeah,
you get, like,
if he can get to this stage of the game, he's very good at farming out those Ancient stacks and doesn't really need much in the way of items to do it.
Just needs his level 11. And going back to the point where you mentioned every time Newbee has been losing fights, they've been very over aggressive. I think it has something to do with when you draft a Viper as well. You want to be in control, you know, when you have a Viper, because you know if you fall behind when you draft a Viper, the Viper becomes slowly less useful into the game when the game drags on. And especially when he actually chose to go for Yasha, I actually thought he might maybe be considering going back for the Midas, because he had like a long couple of minutes to actually think about what he wants to get.
Yeah, it feels like Newbee is starting to feel that pressure that they have to make plays around the map. They see the Slark farming, the Queen of Pain farming, the Dragon Knight farming.
Gyro versus a Slark late game.
Oh, I see. He just picked up his Blink, but he jumps directly into a smoke gank. So the Blink revealed, Fissure stolen. That was just a freebie for Newbee.
And dying is not even the worst thing. Giving away the fissure there is the biggest thing.
And it's a max fissure as well. That's a lot to give up. And the best part is they didn't even have to use global, so they still have the global for later. I guess the best part's getting the fissure. The second best part is still having the global.
For them to win the team fight right now with the fissure, it's gonna be much easier because you can actually follow up. Previously, it's just charge right from the Spirit Breaker and you get global off. That's not really much to follow up, but now having the fissure, it's gonna allow them to just charge and fissure from a good distance. So suddenly their initiation is actually very strong.
Well, a little blip on the gold graph, but CDEC just cleaned up another big stack of Ancients, this time their own. So they may be back on top and have that graph going the way they want it. As a BKB completed on the Dragon Knight, we're going to see AIM saving up some gold. He went for Blink. We didn't talk about it, Winter. Do you favor the Blink versus the Shadow Blade? Is there any particular decision making for which one you want to go for? Yeah, looks like they'll find Banana and get a kill here.
Yeah, maybe after the kill. Yeah, I think it's... Okay, maybe not.
Mid lane, there's the Winter's Curse coming out. The Queen of Pain jumps in together with Icy. But Caldown was positioned almost perfectly to punish this. Charging through a shout too late. Oh, that Glimmer! That Glimmer Cape doing so much work. Spirit Breaker trying to cancel the TP of Inflame. Immediately gets the bash back. But Inflame's ever so tanky. And now the Blink. And again, this time with the Echo, the Global, way late. Not going to be able to turn this fight whatsoever. Maybe Dragon Knight gets a kill out of this, but... or rather, Viper, but Sangcheng trapped out, finished off. CDEC, 4 for 1 with the global forced out. And no more stolen fissure either. That will be off the table.
I think the Blink is much better for team fights. Because I mentioned you want to get either a Blink or Shadow Blade. If you're actually playing split push type of game, I think you go Shadow Blade against the Silencer. But because they wanted to fight so much, I think Blink is much better. Because it's going to allow you to catch your Silencer easier. Because in team fights, you kind of have to anticipate that the opponent is going to bring sentries and whatnot.
Yeah, so this way you can always get your jump. You're not dependent on them making mistakes in a fight.
Yeah, Shadow Blade is much more, for later, You want to farm more with the attack speed and make sure the opponent is split up around the map so you can actually use the invisibility to get pickoffs.
Well, dangerous timing window is about to emerge here for CDEC. All three of their cores topping the net worth chart. A DD rune bottled for Inflame, and perhaps more importantly, about to get that level 3 ultimate. This is when Dragon Knight becomes a big problem in team fights. He's going to be a massive damage dealer, and you just can't kill him if he gets the BKB off. 2200 HP, 22 armor. This is not counting the Wyvern's ability to save him, and now they're charging in. Aim's going to initiate straight onto Banana. And will look to munch it. Peels him and immediately devours him. Now Aim diving in a bit deeper. The BKB Dragon Knight just got his level 3 ultimate, and he does have the splash attack going here. So rather tanky. And trying to back off, though. Looks like the BKB is about to end. They get off a decent Winter's Curse. Actually, quite a good one. Icy now follows this up with the Echo Slam, and 5 heroes collapse. A little bit of an awkward fight there for CDEC for a while, but they were just baiting them in, waiting for the opportunity to combo, and they find all 3 remaining heroes with the big AoE takedown. I find this very confusing, by the way. This level 3 Dragon Knight ultimate, it's red.
I think he popped it before.
But it says splash attack level 3 when I mouse over it, so I'm not sure.
Okay, I see him red as well.
I don't know. Maybe that is the level 2 one, but it says it's level 3 on the mouse over.
I remember during the middle fight when you were talking about Dragon Knight needing to reach level 16, he was like almost level 16. So maybe the fight broke out and he actually popped it.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly, but guess it doesn't matter. In the end here, Winter, CDEC Youth, they brought their full 5-man roster and they played like it. Newbee they just got punished. I really thought the lanes would go better. They have Viper versus Dragon Knight mid. Dragon Knight, I mean, it was even, which means he won his lane heavily, way more than he should have. The Shaker got like 7 kills early for the team. Everything just went CDEC.Y here.
I'm not sure why the Gyro was off lane though. That was the biggest question because he was left without much support at bottom, and he died, like we mentioned during the class. He died way too much in the early game. And he's not a hero that you want to leave alone, you know, unless your lineup somehow has another carry, which is in this game, they don't really have another carry. The Gyro is like their main damage component, and he needs to get BKB for the game. And he didn't even manage to finish the BKB. I think that was the most important item that he needed this game, just based on how they were actually planning to play the draft and how they shaped up their movements and team plays and whatnot. So I think the Gyro just needed that BKB so badly.
I would certainly agree with you there, Winter. So with that, guys, that is going to wrap up Game 1 in this best of 3. There was a scoreboard bug, but apparently that was Game 1. There was no default win for Newbee postponing the match by an hour. So we'll come back with Game 2. We'll see if they can force a deciding Game 3 or if CDEC Youth can take it to 0. So stick around. You're watching the Nanyang Championships.